to see you somewhere in the sand.
Are you tired of the same old lunch spots? Are you always working and looking for great food? Well, I have the solution for you. The Public House Tap and Grill. Come try a menu with some of your soon-to-be favorites like chicken cordon bleu or the poor man's pizza. Stop in today at 6240 North Lockwood Ridge Road in Sarasota, Florida. Can't leave the office or stuck at home? No worries. Call 941-822-0795 and place your delivery order today. That's 941-822-0795. It even comes with a free chocolate chip cookie. So come down to the best new food spot around and be sure to tell them that your friends from STLR Media sent you. The Public House Tap and Grill, 6240 North Lockwood Ridge Road in Sarasota, Florida. Eat in public, drink in public, be seen in public.
Hey, what's going on, people? It's your man, Johnny Christ from the Mad Titans of Radio. And did you know that Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m., you can hear the best damn morning show this side of the bay? What am I talking about? The Morning Wood. You got my boy High C and whatever type of inbred idiots he has swinging by. You know, there's really no way to really explain this. You're just gonna have to tune in because you never know who's gonna stop by. You will be thanking me later, and it's the only way to start your day. So remember, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I have to speak slow because you idiots just don't get it. But tune into the Morning Wood with my man High C right here on STLR Media.
Are you fiending for a fiesta in your mouth? Well, get your fix at Chili Heads, where bold, fresh taste never disappoints and has just the right spice to heat up your life.
Whether you like your salsa flame or you like your salsa a little more tame, Chili Head salsa is the best in the game. Trust me, I would know. I'm a Chili Head addict, and I'm not ashamed. That sweet red crack keeps me coming back. Now I got you wondering, where is Chili Heads at? Well, you can find Chili Heads located at 7620 Lockwood Ridge Road, and you can call 941-554-4968. Again, that number is 941-554-4968. Chili Head Salsa. Flamin' yeah, flamin' yeah.
Hey guys, my name is Joe Castronova. I'm the owner and creator of Alpha Wolf Beard Balm and Oil. And if you're having problems with the itchiness, the dryness, or you're trying to grow yourself a beard for the very first time, or you're trying to bring that beard back, then look no further. With our products, they are 100% natural, organic, and handmade. And I can guarantee you that with our products, we will make sure that your beard is on point for any occasion. Trust me. Search us on Facebook and Instagram at Alpha Wolf Beard Balm and Oil, and welcome to the pack.
Good evening. You're about to listen to... You know what? Nah, screw this shit. I'm not doing another damn disclaimer. I'm sick of being the damn ostracized one in this goddamn company. If they think for 2 seconds I'm going to read this disclaimer, they can suck my ever-loving... Hey, High C.
Hey, Johnny, what are you doing?
Oh, you know, nothing. I'm just about to read this disclaimer.
You're damn right you about to read that disclaimer, because Lord knows all the backlash I get every time you do a show.
Yeah, all right, fine. You're about to listen to the Mad Titans of Radio. But beforehand, we should probably tell you the following. The views and expression of the Mad Titans of Radio are in no way, shape, or form any reflection upon STLR Media as a whole and or anybody individualized with it. With that being said, I really hope everybody enjoys the show. Fucking asshole, suck my motherfucking dick.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Hail to the king, baby.
Say something. What? Just say something, please.
For God's sake.
I had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on earth.
This is your first night at Fight Club. You have to fight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
You want it bad. You don't care who you get it from because you have no self-respect, and that gets you off, doesn't it?
Hell no!
What happened to your face? No means no.
Damn, Daniel.
You're working with a professional here! You fucking losers!
Welcome to the Losers Club, asshole!
I think we got it. It took a little bit.
Really?
Maybe.
Just a wee bit.
Just a guess.
I mean, just fuck it up.
Why not?
What's going on, my people? You guys are locked and loaded into the best damn 2 hours of your entire week. You're welcome. You are locked into the Mad Titans of Radio. And I am the motherfucking grand facilitator, the emperor of Ratchet City, the king of King's Landing. Wait a minute. Nope.
Whoa.
Whoa. Anywho, I am the only African-American icy bear this side of the Mason-Dixon line. I am the Johnny Christ. Touchy's not here this week.
Yeah, so I'm here filling in for him.
Yeah, we got Day-Day instead.
Day-Day.
You know.
Day-Day.
Yeah.
The freaking day labor was running short of people, so we had to grab Day-Day. Nah, we're super chilled and super happy to have Day-Day with us. But we got others.
We do. I am your intergalactic champion of champions. I am the powers that be, the Messiah Truth. I am the Alpha Wolf, Mr. Real. Real's doing the room. Bada boom. How you doing?
Bing, bang.
Bang, bang. Hold on. Wait a minute. I gotta get it queued up. Yeah, because like that's a thing now. All right.
Are you ready yet? Can I?
Could you say the word?
She's
go
a good
ahead.
intro.
I mean, I am the grand master of all the Cuda cats out there. Yeah, and always bringing some real talk from a small package.
Damn Skippy on that.
Yup. This is the elf. Welcome, everybody.
Elf on a shelf.
And we got Day-Day filling in for Uncle T. You see, Uncle T's got the HIV.
Oh, God, man. Why would we got to say we got the HIV?
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. What?
Jeez.
What? Does he got the crab?
How about the clap?
Just make it clap.
Everybody, I am super looking forward to the show today because we have a gentleman by the name of Ian McGuire we are going to be calling here at the top of the hour. And Ian McGuire is...
If you live in Charlotte County...
Yeah, then you know who this kid is.
Pretty sure that you have seen him.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't.
You haven't seen him?
I'm
Okay.
born and raised there. I don't know who he
he's
is.
usually out at different events. Stuff over at Lashley Park, Farmers Market, in front of the courthouse.
Poor farmers.
And he always has a sign that has something derogative on it.
Oh, example. Like, tell me, I mean, without saying exactly what his signs are, tell me a sign that he might have.
I don't know the judge's name, but Judge insert name is a C word.
Oh, fair enough. All right, so Judge Cuda Cat's cunt. Fair enough.
Or Punta Gorda tastes like shit.
I mean, how do you know what Punta Gorda tastes like, though?
That's what a lot of people said.
But we're gonna find out all of this because I'm very much looking forward to what this kid has to say because I don't know if he has any type of direction, but he certainly is gaining a fair amount of traction, not only in the Punta Gorda area and the Charlotte County area, but just in general.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with his YouTube channel's got 15,000 subscribers.
I think it's close.
That's
it's
crazy.
like 15.5.
One video of his has got like 235,000 views.
But I think that's a lot of people that
That's crazy
possibly
shit.
not only they kind of want to see what he has to say, but I also think it's because people I shouldn't even say it like that. I'll say it's a 50-50. People are like, I support you, or people are like, I don't understand and I want to see it.
Sure.
Because there's so much talk about it. It's just like when there's a bad review about a restaurant.
Right.
But there's like 1,000 good reviews and there's that one bad review. You're like, well, I kind of want to know about it. I want to see why is it a bad review. So you go and you experience it, and the next thing you know, you're like, that person doesn't know what he's talking about.
Is it bad that I was just like, I mean, I heard obviously everything that was going to be going on, and I'm just like, I don't even want to even feed into it. I don't even want to actually go out of my way and
but this is what
give
we
him more
do.
views about him being on some other
Well, okay, and you'll have to allow me to play devil's advocate here. All right,
that's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
This is what quiet. This is what we do. We are unbiased journalists, the only ones in STLR, I might add.
True.
We tell it how it is. We are the ones who have to come.
This is real talk. You know, if I think you're bullshitting, I'll call you out on it. I hate to say it that way, but it's true. I mean, because I can't pick a side, because then it's, oh, you're with side A or you're with side B. That's why I don't like politics, because politics is bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
sure is.
Politics is ran by skull and crossbones. Bottom line, the richest people in the world
skulls.
run the fucking government.
The skulls.
It doesn't matter how much we vote or whatever the fuck we try to do. They got their money on whoever. Yeah.
It's plain Russian roulette. But if you really want to understand more of that, go watch the movie with Robin Williams in it called Man of the Year, and that is like the epitome of what our government system is. That's why they got rid of the Scantron sheets, because you can manipulate it. Or you couldn't manipulate it as easily as clicking on a computer and doing it in software now.
Okay, well,
glitches.
And and what my thing is very simple, all right? Why not just let all the facts come out and then let people call stuff out accordingly? What you're running into, and this is where people like us shine, you know, people like me, people like you all the intelligent people on social media. When you listen to the mainstream media, you know, no matter what it is, that the MSNBC, the CNNs, the Foxes, the whatever, they're always going to spin it.
Oh, obviously.
To fit their own agenda. Don't believe it? Look at Jesse Smollett. Prime example. I don't see anybody holding this motherfucker's, you know, irons to the fire. No, that they put his ass back on TV. And you don't want to hold everybody accountable. It's like everybody is up in arms about what happened today with Alabama possibly doing away or making the first step to damage Roe v. Wade, which for any of you who actually have any common sense, then you know what I'm talking about. But that shit's ridiculous.
And I'm pretty sure we'll definitely get into that a little bit later.
Oh, absolutely. Just so much to get to. Tomorrow night, though, John Wick 3.
Ooh.
Is it tomorrow night?
I actually got money.
You may need to hit up Tommy.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, I know you're listening.
Because Tommy's making it rain with tickets.
Nice. Nice.
Let me know. What's up?
I'm really looking forward to it. I kind of have a funny feeling how the outcome's going to be, because, you know, I mean, anyone who's seen John Wick 1 and 2, you're kind of going to know what's going on.
I haven't.
Oh, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Bro.
Bro, I work 167 hours a week, okay?
Well,
excuses.
Take 2 hours out of your life to go see a movie, and let alone it's on DVD.
And
it's
you
in
could watch
Redbox.
Endgame, though, didn't you?
I did watch Endgame, so
Yeah,
you
I
are correct on that one.
Do you have time to jerk off?
Jeez.
Well, of course. I mean,
okay, well, then you have time to watch
no
a fucking
girlfriend
movie.
to worry about right now.
That's right.
Got to keep the man pleased one way or another.
Well, and I do believe that we're set up to go see John Wick. But aside from that, and I don't care, I will be that guy. All of the controversy that has come out over last Sunday's Game of Thrones episode.
Oh, dude, don't get me.
Everybody
so
and their great. Everybody from USA Today, from the new to the New York Post, how they took 8 seasons, virtually 8 seasons, and flushed it down the fucking drain with one episode.
I agree. Really? I agree. For those of you who have not seen it, first of all, shame on you.
Yeah. And second of all, warning, spoiler alert, don't care about your feelings.
I think that if you have been following Game of Thrones up to this date, up to season 8, and you haven't really started watching season 8, first of all, shame on you. You need to get caught up really. Yeah, shame.
No,
I will point
shame.
the
Do not shame me. Okay,
I'm not gonna shame
I have
you.
a significant other that needs to catch up to.
Okay, well, but he's also read the books.
I know.
I've been
Yeah,
flip
but the books
flopping.
and the
Like
shows don't go together.
No,
in a
because
lot
there's
of
so
ways.
much. There's a bunch of characters that are in the book that they don't bring into
don't
the movie
even
because
mention.
their storyline
It doesn't have nothing
has
to do.
no.
I
it's
really
just like-
don't know how you're how you're shocked by this.
Who, me?
Anybody.
I'm
I
not-
don't know how anybody is shocked by this.
But I agree. Like,
What I'm
like going to
saying
Endgame, Adam Warlock killed Thanos, but that didn't happen either.
yeah, exactly. They had to manipulate the system a certain way. And in my opinion, on this note, and I'm sorry, I mean, you probably already know about it. There was a king by the Mad King who was
I pledge my undying soul and love to the Mad Queen.
who then becomes the Mad Queen. However,
God bless
ringing of bells or whatever the
Danny.
situation is, she goes ahead and totally flips the switch and decides to fuck everything up. Like, I understand, like, if you want to do that, that's fine, but there was no setup to her doing that. And I'm sitting there with the wife, and I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, she's like, what the fuck is going? And I'm like, first of all, shh. Second of all, I have no clue.
Did you really shush, Mom?
Oh, damn right, man. This is Game of Thrones, man. Yeah. Like, we've all been on this adventure for the last 10 years, just like with Endgame, and seeing how everything unfolded. And Endgame was such a cinematic adventure that
it really was.
Brought you into it, and it got you by the heartstrings, the whole 9 yards. And then Game of Thrones comes around, and it does the same exact thing. And then all of a sudden, just like that, it just flips it on you. And you're just like, oh, fuck this bitch. Oh, fuck that guy. Like, first of all, John had Ghost from like episode 1.
Correct.
And then in episode 4 of season 8, he decides to just say, oh, he needs to go back into the woods with where he needs to be. So he takes it. So he lets him go back with the
wolf things, the hybrid wolf.
no, huh? No. Yeah, his wolf. He sends it back up to the north, like with the wildlings.
Other side of the wall.
Yeah, so he sends him back with the wildlings and everything like that. That wolf has been with him since day one. And first of all, you didn't even pet the fucking dog. Like, you're a dick. Like, that dog has been at your side.
You sound just like them fucking trolls on fucking YouTube. Oh, we just want to say
pet that dog. At least like have like a good goodbye. Like, if you're gonna send that dog back into the wild to go be in his natural habitat and everything, at least go ahead and say, hey, you've been a good ally.
You've been a good boy.
You've been a good boy. It's time for you to go about your way.
See, and I haven't even seen this, so now I'm getting mad. Like, why the fuck would he just let the dog go? Like,
Exactly, because we never want to see anything happen to a dog. So if you have,
maybe.
If you haven't
what
seen
about Arya's situation when she threw the fucking rocks at the dog?
Yeah.
I mean, the dog was gonna get killed, but she's still like, get the fuck out of here, motherfucker.
All right,
but at that point, that's when she's like, you need, like, if you don't get the hell out of here, you're gonna die. So she was saving that wolf's life. But like, if you haven't seen John Wick 1, the first 20 minutes,
Dad is totally fangirling right now.
It's gonna hurt. Like, oh, listen, listen. When it comes to a dog, an animal like that,
I'm loving it.
That animal.
All right, so question for everybody here.
Fuck you! I swear.
and question for everybody on Facebook, and for those of you who will be watching the replay on Spotify as well as on YouTube, who do you all think is going to be the one to take out Daenerys this Sunday?
I don't think she's gonna actually get taken out.
I think she will.
You need to talk into the mic for one, and
my
two.
bad. Can you hear me now?
Yes. As somebody who has read the book, you shut your damn mouth. Okay, I don't want to hear it.
No.
The book ended, and then they never made more of the books in the season.
Not yet. It hasn't been finished yet. And then the writer, he gave them bits and pieces, and he says, all right, this is what's going to happen. Now explain how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
And that's why season 7 and 8 it hasn't been written yet. So and that's why.
Yeah.
And I think
so. We have Allison on Facebook saying Jon Snow's going to be the one to kill Daenerys.
There's been a lot of talk that Jon Snow is going to have to do it. At first I thought Arya's going to do it.
Oh.
But at the end of the last episode, she got on that white horse and rode off. You're like, into the sunset. Surprise.
Hey, I mean, she killed the Ice King, so.
Yeah,
I
the
would
Night
ride
King,
off.
yeah. But the thing is too is that like
That was the secondary character first and foremost.
the thing is too is that when you see what happens in this episode, this latest episode, you're gonna first of all, Arya should have died about 5 or 6 times in that one episode. But somehow she was all OP and everything like that.
Something you should read the books and see how many times she should have really died.
No shit, I agree
She's a
100%.
beast. She's my favorite character.
Arya is a badass. She is a trained assassin.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her such a badass. But I mean, here she is. She has this ability, this power, this cool trait that she can go ahead and take someone's face and become that. And she is the faceless, or she becomes a faceless person. I'm not gonna say man.
We should totally change the format of this entire live streaming because I've never seen Dad so engaged.
I am because I thought I got talked to about it. You know what I mean? That's
so
awesome.
witty with it. I love it.
I'm just so upset I haven't watched
But
any
like
of this.
I watch a lot of I watch a lot of stuff, reviews. Like I
Sure.
want to know more about the Starks. I want to know more about the Baratheons, so on and so forth.
You need to read the books, bro.
I know I got to read the book. I don't have time to read that many books. Like I like that, like over 1,000 pages. I'm like,
A true story
Some
about
of
the
them
guy
aren't
who
1,000
played Jon Snow, literally 4 days removed from acting school.
really?
That's fucking crazy.
He was in what movie? He was in Pompeii. He was in The Seventh Son for like 10 minutes. He's played in just a few movies, but his main thing has been Game of Thrones.
I mean, think of how much money they all have made. They have made a butt ton of movies, a butt ton of money.
Did you hear that with I mean, to change the subject on Game of Thrones and go back to Endgame? Did you hear like in the 3rd week they're saying that it didn't make as much money? It's not Disney's saying, oh, it's not, hasn't made that much money. Blah blah blah.
Lot of pop, not a lot of longevity sizzle.
But I think it's you also have a bunch of other movies and other. I think Game of Thrones is kind of what's throwing it off a little bit, just
Maybe.
a little bit.
Maybe.
I have a fun, but I think it's made its most money in the first 2 weeks. Either way, it's still ranked the number 3 movie of all time.
Yep. I mean, they just need to hurry up and bring back American Horror Story and be done. I can't wait for American Horror Story.
Some of their seasons I didn't even care for.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Asylum wasn't my favorite.
I didn't get into Asylum.
Asylum was, I mean,
Murder
it was-
House was okay.
Yeah, Murder House was good. House is good.
It was okay because it was the first season, but like I don't give a fuck. I liked The Covenant.
Yeah,
I thought
Yes.
it was. I
favorite
thought it was really good. I didn't finish up Freak Show.
It wasn't that good.
Roanoke or whatever it was.
Roanoke also sucked.
The other one was what was the latest one?
Wait, no, you can't forget about the Apocalypse one. No, not the Apocalypse one. It was the one where they elected President Trump. And
that was the latest one. That one I haven't watched.
There's a one after that one.
Okay, so I'm behind a little bit, but whatever. I mean,
I mean, it's cool to see how each one of those seasons play
100%.
and tie into each other because, like, you'll see Asylum tied into Freak Show because of the twins and the stuff, ended up going to the orphanage and stuff like that. And then you'll see how, like, the Murder House tied into, I think. Never mind, I don't remember.
I do like the fact that they use the same actors.
Yeah.
For
that's pretty cool.
Most of the seasons, I think there's maybe 1 or 2 seasons that didn't have the same actors. But like once Heroes was done, that's when the show Heroes had like total of 6 seasons.
Heroes was such a depressing ending because they just tipped the surface.
Hold on.
And then they canceled the motherfucker.
What was say? Well, you got the first.
What is Heroes?
Oh, Heroes was when all like the MCU and the X-Men movies were coming out. NBC put out a show of the same premise with mutants and fuck shit like that called Heroes.
Everyone
And
has
it ran
everyone has the
good.
power. Yeah, the
It
first
was
couple
so
seasons were
good.
great. Save the cheerleader, save the world. The first 5 seasons were good, and once they finally got to the end of season 5, where I can't remember the main villain, but
Cyrus.
Was it Cyrus
or Silas?
He was able to figure out how you worked, and then if you had a power, he was able to obtain that power
As long as he killed you.
but he had to kill you. But if the cheerleader, she could never die unless her brain was punctured or something like that, and her brain would stop working. So when he towards the end, like when they started getting closer and closer to him getting to the cheerleader, he then finally got the cheerleader and learned the power. But then there was a way that he then decided to turn a whole new leaf. And it was still such a secret thing because everyone was scared about it. So at the end, she decides to say, hey, record this, jumps off of a 3-story building or whatever it is, face plants, gets up and goes, I'm so and so, and that was example number 2 or 5 or whatever this is, because she was trying to find a way
in New York.
Yeah, that she tried to she did documentation on what can kill her, what can hurt her, what can she do to bounce back from. Then they brought it back, and I think it was Heroes Reborn, and they did 1 season, and it left it wide the fuck open. Not the same a lot of the same characters, a handful of characters that were still in it. The cheerleader was dead. Now she was completely dead, what they were trying to say, and then they ended it so badly, and they never did a season. The season after that.
What is everybody's favorite go-to show? Like, what was the show that you just like?
Breaking Bad.
Vikings.
I have yet to see that, but that's next on the bucket.
Vikings is awesome too.
The newest thing that I have going on, or what I had going on, was
grandma porn.
No, that's T.
Yeah.
Was The Last Kingdom, and then now that I'm waiting for the next season to come up, but it's hard because you get one show that I really liked is Forge and Fire, because I like people taking pieces of metal and then making this badass weapon out of nothing, and it's so cool. And I got so addicted to that. Right. But then it's like, all right, well, once that's done, then I can go and watch Curse of Oak Island, and then I go to something else. And then once I'm done with those,
watching cartoons.
Stuck on Rick and Morty. Season 4 comes out in October. Can't wait.
Nina has the only right idea.
I'm on the page on Facebook for Rick and Morty. I just keep clicking on it. People keep
what
doing
is
live
with
things.
you?
I'm like, I'm watching Rick and Morty.
Rick
and Morty's a shit.
My go-to, since everybody else, you
go ahead, Alf, please.
My go-to, which is funny, is actually the new Sabrina that just came out.
I like that.
It's actually really dope.
It's dark.
It is very dark, and it's actually really crazy because they actually really do put actual legit historical things, especially within the witchcraft and the coven type of ideals and what they used to do in the past.
About that. I think that we talked about that last season on the Mad Titans, just how much research went into
I think
the New Adventures of Sabrina.
And it's so funny. People are like, "Oh, you watch that show?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's actually really good."
Yeah. Wait a minute, you watched that show?
I did. Dude, when season 2 came out, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, you know, there's a third one. They just literally put out a third one.
Are you serious?
Did you watch the Christmas special too?
No, I didn't see that one.
No, they literally just released the third season.
I have to look that shit
a month ago.
No, that was season 2.
Was it season?
It was season 2.
Oh, okay. I thought it was 3.
Yeah, I'm like, I tell people, oh, I watched the new one. They're like, the new one? I'm like, yeah, the new one that's on Netflix that's darker than anything else? Yeah.
It's about the devil.
The other show that was really good, too, was A Haunting on Hill House. The first season was awesome. It started off slow, and then it picked up, and you're like,
yeah.
holy
I totally forgot about
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good show, too. I'm actually waiting for...
What is it?
Haunting on Hill House. Oh, man. It was, whew.
It reminded me of the movie The Haunting.
Oh, okay.
But just the location.
People pretty much keep seeing how they're going to die and don't realize it.
Why would
is it?
I'm saying,
I used to love Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy was good, too, until I had to watch
Mayans
it 4
was
or 5
absolutely
times.
garbage. I felt horrible. Mayans sucked.
The thing with Sons of Anarchy is that the first couple seasons were really good. They really brought you into that club, but then it started to become like, hey, Jax, I need someone to help me out. Can you help me out?
I think maybe you expect too much out of these shows.
Yeah, well, I mean, if it's a freaking rescue the damsel in distress every episode for the whole season, I'm like, I'd rather go. Yeah, I'm tired. And now, like with Game of Thrones, like I've been really anticipating this final season, and now that I've gotten up to where we're at, I'm like, I don't even want to watch the last episode, but I gotta just to see how it all ends out.
That's how I was with True Blood. I did actually.
True Blood.
That was a good show. That was a good show too,
that was
man.
my thing.
That was a good
show.
Who
are you?
I stopped watching. I did not watch season 7. I did not watch last. Nope.
It was all right.
I've never seen any of it.
It was pretty good.
I'm
not gonna lie.
I was getting pissed off. I watched 2 episodes in, and I was like, everybody's fucking dying, and I'm crying because I loved all of these people, and I'm like, I can't do this. Fuck it. I'm just gonna leave it in my mind as them being in a happy world, and shit was cool.
I think you could have ended it when they found a way to live in the sunlight. I think they could have ended it right then and there, but they didn't. But then when it really started,
actually that's the episode I got to, and then I started noticing they were just picking people off, and I was like, nope, I can't. Can't do this.
when they really started bringing like the whole fairy thing, I was like, this is getting kind of weird now. But then
it worked out though.
It did, and then of course they can walk in sunlight. It's a miracle. Blah 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 blah. And then like next thing you know, it's like, oh no, we're gonna take that away and we're just gonna kill Bill.
I love the interaction going on our Facebook Live. Allison getting in there like a fucking champion boss. Talk about Cobra Kai. Great.
I have yet to see. I haven't.
Wonderful.
I gotta go ahead and just get into that.
If you are somebody who is into that vintage 80s shit, like literally the premise of Cobra Kai picks up exactly where it should pick up.
I've heard.
It's great. It's very good. Season 2's kind of hit and miss, so I'm still watching that. We've had somebody say Nip Tuck was a great series.
Nip Tuck was good
I
too.
never actually watched
that. Was good.
Dexter was really good.
Dexter was all right till season 5. I
gotta
gave
get
up
back
on it.
I heard they're bringing back another season of Dexter. I heard they're gonna go ahead and go into season.
Awesome. Tiny, no, I've never watched a show called Love, Death, and Robots.
It's a new show on Netflix. I haven't seen it. I heard good things about it too.
I do know one thing though. Every major hit show that tries to do a spin-off
of another movie or another show.
Horrible.
It's like
horrible.
Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
That shit was
That
the
was
first
garbage.
couple episodes were all right, and then I quit watching it.
That's a great point.
Breaking Bad
Say
was one of my favorite television.
Breaking Bad was a good show until it got to like season 4.5, and then there's this like
4.5.
It got
halfway through
it got a
season
little
4. I'm like, nee,
but
okay.
Then it picked back up.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
picked
watch
up
the whole
good.
thing?
It
Oh,
did.
yeah.
I watched the whole season. Yeah, I watched the
okay.
whole series, but it like I got to a point where it's just like, all right, well, he's selling this, they're making that, they're doing that. I'm like,
sure.
Oh yeah, that's what the show's about.
I know, but like, it's almost like there's certain shows that I feel go on for too long, and they should have ended when it was at its peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Dexter.
But like then it's like, all right, now we're just kind of just pulling resources just to kind of
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that's still going.
No, that's done. It's like, well, I mean, it's like the
Tomorrow
final
night is their final episode.
What hasn't it? Oh damn.
what 12 seasons or
12?
11?
Look at The Simpsons.
It's like Friends.
Simpsons, yeah. Fucking South
Family
Park.
Guy, South
Yeah.
Park. Yeah.
How the fuck does South Park still manage to get any type of airplay is
Dude,
beyond me.
The thing with South Park, in my opinion, is that they don't have like they have a season, but the season isn't just like one thing on like how Breaking Bad is, how Sons of Anarchy is. It's random shit that's going on, and they make a mockery out of it, and that's how they
Family
make.
Guy.
Same thing with Family Guy. Or American
Morty.
Dad, huh?
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. I mean, it has a storyline, but like it's spread out through the season, and it's weird because it doesn't all intertwine until like the last like 2 episodes. You're like, fuck, okay, I got it now.
I used to love to watch all of the older cartoons. The older cartoons were where I was at.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy, 100%.
Yes, Rocco's Modern Life.
Ninja Turtles, the old Ninja Turtles back in
Yes, that was my
1988.
shit.
Like that
Yes.
had a storyline, and even though it wasn't in the right order, it all intertwined.
It always made a lot of sense.
Hey, can I ask one question too?
You
on
can
that
ask.
real quick?
You can ask as many questions as you want.
Have you guys actually seen Ash vs. the Evil Dead TV
Yes,
series?
yes.
I
I
don't know
need
how
to
we
watch season 3, but I love that show.
For those of you who can't understand, apparently Dad is a series watcher.
I
had no idea.
When I got rid of DirecTV, believe me, I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do?
Streaming services.
Boom! I already had Netflix and Amazon Prime.
I mean, it's way cheaper.
I need to get a Fire Stick.
It's way cheaper than trying to actually have a cable provider. You just get the internet, which is going to cost you like $60 a month.
Exactly.
And then you just hit it with $10, $13 here. Bam, still cheaper than your
so
cable bill.
much going on in TV with Big Bang Theory ending tomorrow after 12 seasons, Game of Thrones for all the yahoos. Like,
you're a Yahoo too.
I get it. But like some of these people, what some of the people who watch some of these shows have goes way beyond obsession. Like the Rick and Mortys. Jesus H. Christ. The people who obsess over that are fucking old infants.
Listen.
They're old ass infants.
Listen.
The people who obsess over Game of Thrones.
Watch what you fucking say.
I'm just saying.
Why are you going to
Rick
hurt
and
my
Morty's
feelings
shit,
like that,
bro.
dude? You've seen me in
I love it.
Pickle Rick shirts. You see me
Pickle
draw Pickle Rick.
But you're
all
not
over-
obsessed with it.
No, but I mean, like, I'm not gonna go and get a tattoo per se. However,
actually, I am, and it's of them like in a Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas style. So like, yes.
I don't know you anymore.
Boom! I'm a pickle.
Wow. All right, I'll remember that whole loyalty comment you were talking about earlier, asshole.
The thing is too is that it's like when I watch it, I really feel like I'm watching a psychedelic, crazy adventure of
Looney Tunes,
Doc and Morty.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I will say
that's what it really reminds me. It reminds me of Back to the Future for adults.
Yeah.
Time travel, going to different planets, doing this. Like, if you were to go ahead and make Rick and Morty into a movie 25 years ago, it would be Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, like everybody can really,
definitely be.
everyone can really connect with those characters.
Exactly.
Because we're all a little bit of a Rick Sanchez. Like we are all dicks like that. We're like, nah, you're a piece of shit. You should just probably kill yourself because you don't even matter.
Like, you remind me of Rick. I'm like, wait, what? I was like, I remind you of an old fucking bald guy.
Have you watched any Rick and Morty?
I have, because I literally, like, I didn't know any better, so I thought they did an animated series of Back to the Future.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally thought
that's probably why you were kind of disappointed. You're like,
I was like, what the fuck?
My brother-in-law, like, I was talking to him, like, what's so big about Rick and Morty? And he's like, dude, it's like, and he told me it's like
it's stoner cartoon.
No, it's not. Listen, just watch people review Rick and Morty on YouTube. It's so. What's the word I'm looking for? Like
they tried to eloquate.
It's low key deep.
It's super fucking
real
and really woke.
Bro.
Like, do not watch Rick and Morty while you're tripping on it.
Bro, Morty will tell you that Rick does not give a shit about anything or anybody. Yeah. Fuck Rick, and then he's trying to.
I can't stand people who are woke.
Whatever,
I don't.
How the fuck are you gonna even remotely fucking say that?
Motherfucker, go to sleep.
What
so
you mean?
People.
I'm a woke ass person. So
no, you're not a woke ass person. You just know the truth.
That's being
AKA
woke,
bro.
No,
is that what the definition of being woke is? Like, I know the truth about something.
Yes,
okay,
that is the definition. Like
you
whenever
open your
you
eyes
are
up to the reality of everything.
Yes. Anything that you like, like most people who are talk about conspiracy theories and things like that, or spiritual things. You're woke.
Oh, okay. So
the most commonly used phrases after woke are things like white privilege. Woke is not a real fucking thing. All right,
so
you
white
either
privilege
know.
Isn't?
No, it's not.
It is, bro.
No, it's not.
I've used the white card many times.
No, you haven't.
Bro, you know how many times I've been in a car with a bunch of black people? We got lost, and I said, look, I guess I'll go talk to the police and ask them where the fuck we're going.
That's true.
Okay, all right.
That's true.
All right,
white privilege.
Like nothing. Bro, you know what would have happened if my homeboy went over there smelling like weed? Oh, turn around, sir.
Yep. Oh, who you with?
Wait a minute.
Who you with?
You can't blame society because you think something will happen without no actual
No, I would have
proof.
definitely happened, bro.
You don't know that though, so now you're assuming. So good job.
It's
you're
better
assuming
to
without
assume
evidence
than to be sorry. Because you know what? Now I think about every time I've like ever been pulled over or I had some interaction.
Yeah,
with
we
police.
know. All right. Police officers just pull people over because driving while being black is a thing.
Yes, bro. You know how many times I've been in a car with a bunch of white people and don't get pulled over? Man, I was driving down the road with my brother-in-law, who's black, get pulled over, and they ask us what we're doing in the neighborhood. In our neighborhood that we live in. What are you doing in the neighborhood?
Isn't this funny? This could go right into dad talk.
Woo!
It is absolutely absurd, okay? Don't believe me? We'll use a quick statistic, okay? Now, unlike the rest of you people, and all of you people,
what do you mean by you people?
Did you see that post on Facebook where that black lady got pulled over by a cop?
Saw
the cop was harassing
post.
her, and then the white lady went over there and was like, "Oh no!" And then the cop's like, "What are you doing?" She said, "I want to make sure that nothing happens to this black lady." Da 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 da. And she used her white power for good.
Okay, well then,
boom.
Guess what?
That's white power.
The single mother.
Whoa! Be careful on the use of white power.
White power, motherfucker.
God, jeez, man.
He meant privilege.
Yeah, privilege. We'll start with P's. Privileged power?
Oh no!
Fuck my life, America.
That was pretty much.
Let me on the show, Johnny.
That was pretty much going. Hey, I'm Day-Day. Look at me. That's what it really was.
Hail Hitler.
Oh, jeez. No.
This motherfucker being muted. He being
Day-Day in timeout now.
I can't take a chance anymore.
Oh,
They didn't go in the corner.
Someone's gonna be knocking on our door. You guys talking about white privilege?
Hey, white people. I'm like, oh, Lord. The only reason why I say that things like white privilege is bullshit is because the single motherhood rate in the African American community jumped from 14% upwards of 73%. Where's the white privilege? You can't blame. White people are not the reason why African American kids are dropping out of high school. White kids are not the reason why a two-parent African American home poverty level has dropped down to 70%. Drop down. We are talking less than 10%. And a single white woman's mom's poverty level is 14%. So where's white privilege? There isn't.
You're talking on different statistics now.
No, I'm talking factual statistics.
Yeah, I know, but you're talking on whole different terms now because
when you get into this conversation,
when you talk about with white people and black people and cops, it's a whole nother ballgame than what you're talking about now, and that's
white people and cops. Really, Michael Brown? Michael Brown Forensic evidence showed that Michael Brown reached for that cop's gun, entrance and exit wounds of a criminal justice system, and judge ruled based upon evidence that Michael Brown not only held up a store, but he tried to grab a cop's gun. Therefore, he got shot. That's not hands up, don't shoot. That's you should have kept your damn hands to yourself.
I watched a video today where a guy was in an accident, and he was black, pretty overweight, and was down in Miami, hit like 2 or 3 cars, hit a barricade, flipped it over in midair, went into the water. They got him out. He had one shoe on, bleeding from somewhere they didn't know where, and the cops were trying to help him out. And then, like, he seemed like he was disoriented or something like that. Don't really know. So they finally get him over to the EMS. There's a bunch of people that saw it. Obviously, the people that got hit by him as well. And they're trying to get him to, like, just sit down and let's check you out because you're bleeding. We want to know where you're bleeding from. We want to make sure that you're okay. Make sure you didn't, sustained a head injury and everything. And then he started getting kind of grabby. And there's one of the other cops. There's two cops that were there. As the one, and it was all on their uniform cam,
right?
And the one that you were watching, you see it from this angle, and then the other cop that's right here, he went ahead and put his hand. He was like he wasn't like trying to like pull him down or he was just like, hey, come on, just sit down. The guy, the suspect, then grabbed the dude's taser, and then went to shoot, but the one cop that you were seeing the POV from got his taser out, shot him, and the guy still wouldn't go down. Next thing you know, both cops pulled their gun out, and they wounded him. They did not kill him. They wounded him. Good. They shot him in his leg like 2 or 3 times.
Oh, okay.
And then they got him down. But then it's like all of a sudden, like the guy came back to life. And he's yelling, "Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!" Obviously, I mean, like at least he was yelling, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" and not something else. But like that's his own fault.
I mean, you can't run around. And you can't just point the finger at one gender, race, none of that shit. Why? Because of the fact that if you can sit here and say that you only know good people that are one particular type of skin color, you're an idiot and you're closed-minded and you don't know a lot of people.
Or one age, because then I saw another video of a 62-year-old man who was a peeping Tom who pulled out a shotgun on some cops that came just to talk to him.
People.
And then because he would not drop the gun, the cops shot him. They didn't kill him. They wounded him. But still, like...
I mean, we just have to start holding people fucking accountable when it happens.
Yeah, just like, I mean, there was another video that leaked out from these police officers in Texas who racially profiled this guy who was playing basketball in his front yard with his kids. Just because he had dreads and all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, you got a warrant." He goes, "What? How are you going to sit here and come up to my property and tell me I have a warrant?" He's like, who do you think I am? And he was like, "I need your ID." He ended up saying, "Your name's Quentin." He goes, "My name's not fucking Quentin. Who the fuck is Quentin? And how do I have a warrant in Louisiana? I'm in Texas. Like, this shit don't make fucking sense."
Yeah.
He's like, "How are you going to come up?" And then he was starting to get mad. Well, the cop kept grabbing him. He's like, "Look, I know my rights. I'm not trying to hurt y'all. You guys came into my property, and you're trying to arrest me because you think I'm a completely different person. You haven't asked me for my ID. I haven't been able to even prove to you who I am.
Sure. Yeah.
You guys just came up here, and now you're calling a secondary cop, and here comes another cop, bum rushing,
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh shit. And the guy's like, no, like, you guys are not going to kill me. He's like, you're not going to kill me because you think I'm somebody else and because I'm upset that you came up into my property and you're trying to detain me when I did nothing.
Let alone with the kids out in the front yard.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, so my
those
question...
cops should be held accountable. It doesn't matter.
Well, absolutely. But let me play devil's advocate in it.
Of course.
Fuck you. If he wasn't doing anything wrong, would it really have hurt him to say, here, fucking nutcase, look at my fucking ID, you idiot?
It's not that easy. When you already have somebody coming up to you and who's like trying to grab you to
And
arrest
profiling
you,
yeah.
and be like, you look like this guy, and he's like, that's not me. Can I? Then they're like, no. I don't. Don't you put? You can't. Put,
All right,
I
so
can't
the
put my
video
hand-
showed him saying, here's my ID, and the cops are telling him now.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter because he definitely reported it to whoever was above.
higher-ups.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm reporting you guys," because like after he pulled out his ID finally, because he's like, "Can I pull my ID out?" Because whoever fucking Quentin is ain't me.
Right.
So he finally pulled it out and he showed him, and then they showed him the actual mugshot of who they thought he was, and he goes, "That's not fucking me." He's like, "That doesn't even look like me. Just because this motherfucker has dreads like me." You're automatically, we don't all look the same. And that's what he said to these cops. He was like, fuck you. I'm reporting you guys. He's like, that was not cool. He's like, you didn't give me the opportunity to even actually like show my ID, to actually give you the credentials. Right. And you have my wife standing here who's also recording, telling you that's not Quentin. Who's Quentin? Like, who are you looking for? And he's like, and you also said 3 other names while you're walking up here. So who do you think I am? Like, I can give you my name, but I know my rights. You cannot just come up here and, no, don't fuck with me. Like, stop. And it was a pretty crazy video. I'm going to have to find it and send that to you guys.
Yeah.
Nobody can ever debate that it doesn't go on. You at an epidemic rate that is systemically like an entire country problem. Show me the numbers.
I honestly, you know what I really think is starting to go on? I think that everybody's under so much stress and pressure and that nobody's actually dealing with that and actually trying to like take care of themselves anymore. That like everybody's starting to just constantly ready, like on defense mode. Like they're just ready to go at all times. So not only that, you're making these new recruits go into being an officer with only being 6 months of training and not even experiencing like some real deal shit. Like even like I was actually talking to somebody about the whole thing about
real deal shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I know how I would feel if somebody pointed a gun at my face. That would not be fun.
I've had that a couple times.
What? That would be not cool because I knew as soon as that person pulls that trigger, I'm dead. So like,
can the police department really set up a scenario and tell you about it and make you believe that somebody's actually going to harm you? Or sometimes you just have to, you know, that you're trained for that sort of thing. Because no matter what type of book work, psychology work, nothing that they give you, it's different having somebody who actually wants to hurt you saying, yo ass is dead, as opposed to, okay, in this exercise, somebody's going to hold you up at gunpoint.
Did you hear about that exercise they did back in Charlotte County a couple years ago? It's about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I actually knew.
Say Sergeant Lewis. Fuck that dude.
I don't know which one that one was.
He was the guy that was over top of everyone.
No, I didn't know him. I knew the officer that gave the gun.
Yeah.
Because he used to go to my gym a while back. And then there's a couple times at my establishment, which I'm not going to name, that he was one of the first ones there because he was just in the area. And yeah, there's a couple of times that he was a little bit more forceful. But the thing is, too, is that when you have a customer that is not complying and then starts to, because obviously alcohol has been induced, you know, they get a little, they think they know what they're doing. They, you know, not the cop, but, you know, the customer, like he said, no, I'm not going to go. Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, it's like the cop.
No, that ain't what I'm talking about.
Is that the one that got shot?
No, I'm talking about they were doing a training thing and they had a gun. It was supposed to be blanks.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, there was alcohol involved in that?
No, I'm giving a scenario that he actually dealt with that I've seen, but that was before the gun situation.
Oh, okay.
Where they did not check the gun properly, and the lady got shot.
And they said that cop though that at the same time was like has been in a whole bunch of different departments, and he should have never been a cop again.
He was a canine unit too. That was from time to time would sick the dog on.
He was a straight
on the guy. He was a dick. That is a bully in high school.
Using your power.
Abusing their power, exactly.
Oh, so you mean to tell me that when a cop does wrong, he's held accountable? Cool.
He was,
Every
yeah,
once
and
in
he
a
was,
while.
and he was finally. But the thing is, too, is that he was
Probably
held.
a lot more than what we think.
He was held accountable at this point. But when you have 10 strikes on you, and they don't do anything, it's a little bit different. But then, you know,
who's to say that nothing happened? Just because it's not in the paper until criminal charges are filed. Now, keep in mind that this man had first-degree manslaughter charges. That's gonna make the paper.
Obviously.
Suspension,
not as much.
Or 30 or 60 days without pay. Not gonna make the paper.
No, but when you kill someone, it's a big thing. But you know, if a perp was just to go ahead and I don't know, get roughed up by a cop, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
But if that person was to die, it's a totally different game now. Now you went from, option A to option D.
Well, obviously,
in the blink of an eye.
Can I ask a question? Why isn't what? Okay, if I go outside and I beat the shit out of somebody or just beat somebody up, I get charges pressed against me. That's not something that's cool. So are you saying that they should get slap on the wrist? Because I don't think that's really necessarily fair, especially if I go out and if I just
negative. I am sitting there saying that just because it's not in the paper doesn't mean that it's not happening.
Yeah, okay.
But the same thing is too is that when you watch certain stations on TV and everything, you're getting it spun in the direction that the Republicans want, or the liberals want, or the Democrats want. Same thing with the paper too. That's why there's multiple papers out there.
How many people, and show of hands, how many people would believe there's a problem with law enforcement?
Yeah, I think we're all
if they made every consequence that a law enforcement officer faced, every firing, every charge, every suspension, every fine that they had to pay, made that public.
That'd be fucking dope because I was
what?
on the gotcha.
Because then you can't say that there's police not being held accountable. And you guys will have to find something else to bitch about.
Not really.
There's a
How?
There's a reason why cops now have shoulder cams and wires and stuff. It's because there's too much bullshit going on in the
and there's
departments.
also a whole lot of he said, she said.
Exactly. Now for this cop was doing his job and this person
that's what
was
I'm
being a
waiting
dick
for.
and then pulled out a gun and this cop shot that person but he didn't kill him, like he wounded him or whatever the situation is.
Right.
But yet they still get kind of pissed off because of whatever the reason is.
With the exception of Elf, I would. And you have to say that because Elf is the exception to everything.
I don't mean to be. It just happens.
Absolutely. You hold people accountable, that you hold law enforcement accountable when they do wrong. But with the exception of Elf, who's going to be the first one to stand up, who's always quick to point out police brutality? Who's going to be the first one to stand up and be like, cop's not wrong on that one, though. Like, I see what you tried to do. You tried to make it out to be something, but it really wasn't like that.
I like how you definitely made sure you put an exception of Monica, because we both have watched that video that happened in Sarasota with that kid, and I was like, I'm sorry, if you put your hands on a police officer, that's automatically don't do that shit.
That's assault.
Like, as soon as you go boop, you're fucking done. They're gonna end up wrestling your ass down. Hopefully not punching the shit out of your head. But you just don't fucking touch. You don't touch them.
I'm so glad we're talking about police officers.
Can you cue up my dad talk?
We have to place this call.
All right.
It is that time. We are going to get Mr. McGuire on the phone.
All right.
Ooh, that's perfect, I guess. Oh, that's what's up. My cousin Joe's watching.
We will try this.
Hi, cousin Joe.
Again.
My cousin Benny.
My cousin Benny. That was such a great movie, though. Your Honor, the two Utes. I'm sorry, did you say Utes?
Oh, this
dude gave you a fake fucking number.
He had to have.
He probably did, because he's honestly, from what I've heard and how he acts, is being a little bitch right now.
Better just call him on Facebook.
Do
the Facebook call.
Oh, that's a great idea. I wonder if I can get him.
He probably won't.
And probably not.
I'm sorry. I don't think.
I mean, if it's a busy tone, then that means he's on the phone. So he knew this was
Who
gonna happen.
has has a busy signal anymore.
Unless that's
everybody's got
that's his
call
landline.
waiting.
If that's his landline, yeah, like you're gonna get that. But if it's like on a cell phone, you're gonna get the secondary, recording of, hey, I'm too busy, I can't get to the phone right now. Leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's what I have.
I usually just hear the little bloop, bloop. I'm like, fuck you.
You can hear the beep as it's ringing. You hear the
Yeah.
beep. Yeah.
Beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep. I was like, damn it, fucking loud talking.
Fuck, I'll call you back, Johnny.
I am. All right, we're going to try this again just in case maybe I dialed the wrong number.
One more go.
Because if not, well, then
she probably won't.
I'm going to fucking blow this motherfucker's world up.
Oh, man.
I
don't want to be a part of
We
that.
can't drop bombs.
I was straight
Pipe
up fade
bomb.
this
Shima,
bitch.
motherfucker.
Oh, you pussy hoe.
Dude, send him a message. Go on break. Let's see if he replies back. If he doesn't come back when we come back from break, then you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we're going to take a few moments and we're
pay the
going
bills.
to try to get this shit set on up. Why? Because this kid has got something to say. But
Obviously not if you ain't answering the phone.
oh,
Bird, here's some
bird
ammo for that shit.
motherfuckers. Yeah, I mean, possibly.
You know what? Watch it really be like that. And honestly, I'm not surprised with the background information that we were able to find out because thanks to Florida Public Records.
Florida Public Record, gotta love that.
A lot of arrests.
However,
I
for
had.
those of you who have been living in Port Charlotte and Punta Gorda, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about the noise ordinance that's been going on in Punta Gorda. They had a council meeting today, and it seemed that we, the general public, I don't know, what do you want to call us, I guess, I don't know. I mean, the people that work in the area, it seems that as of right now, for at least from the information that I have gathered, we are in the okay.
Good.
It seems that I'm pretty sure the noise thing is going to be taken into consideration with the establishments in the area, but we are not losing any kind of music and entertainment in Punta Gorda.
I just
in
don't
downtown
see,
Punta Gorda.
I just don't see how that wouldn't even been a thing anyways. Like, you know how
That
many
would've
old
lost a
people,
lot
no
of money.
offense, but I do see lots of elderly folk going out there enjoying their country
yeah.
music, swinging and dancing and getting shit.
The elderly go out there
Yeah.
and they are dancing their ass off like they were 18 years old.
Pretty fucking awesome, actually.
And they are having
I
a
hope
ball
I'm like that when I get old.
because they're retired.
I'm not
You
like
know,
it
they're,
now,
they're
so.
retired. They want to enjoy a life. That's why they're not working anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're gonna change it to this time, or we want to change it to that time. And there's only 18 complaints. But when you really narrow it down, technically there was only one complaint from
Jim.
one person.
I don't even know if his name's really Jim, but I'm just gonna.
I think his name was Jim, to be quite honest with you.
Oh, man.
But like, if you from establishments or from this or from that, it only came from one person. There was 11 complaints. So technically, you group that into one
11
complaint
complaints in how many
from
years?
one person. From one person. That's
You
it.
said it was
Well,
18.
I'm sorry, but that's
No, it's a
just
total
little
of
much.
18.
But 11.
But
of them
11
was from one
11
person.
was for one guy.
Oh, he's just a
Jeez.
crotchety
and there's
old
a there's
man.
a
He must be
thing-
one of those people that live behind like the bar right
I
there.
think he does.
That stay. What's that bar right there?
Well, he
Shorties?
needs to move.
Yeah, he probably stays.
I
Right
think
behind
he's in the
Shorty's.
historic
He had-
in the district, and it's I did not get to go to the meeting. I was going to go to the meeting today, but I was just so
He was busy painting his nails.
No, it's okay. I was totally supposed to go too, and
They
I was
actually look nice,
moving
by the way.
yesterday.
Thank you.
So honestly, I was dead. So I woke
We
up at
are
11 and
gonna-
was like, damn it.
We're gonna pay the
go to
bills.
break so I can get a hold of this guy.
All right.
And then when we come back, we will hopefully get this this wonderful upscale individual
On the phone.
on the phone.
All right.
Hey guys, this is
Yeah,
your
that hurts my
intergalactic
ear.
champion of champions. Go
I
get
think
something to
it's these
drink, go
headphones.
get something to eat,
Oh, wait, no,
and come on back. All right? Good.
I guess you don't struggle.
Finding good barbecue can be hard to do. Lucky for you, we have found deliciousness on a food truck. Smokin' Mama Laura's Barbecue Mobile. Follow the Facebook page today so you know where to get some of the best food to touch your taste buds, like the Redneck Cuban, pulled pork and cheddar sandwich, or my favorite, the loaded mac and cheese, topped with Smokin' Mama Laura's 18-hour smoked pulled pork. Give them a call today at 941-549-3908 or follow Smokin' Mama Laura's Barbecue Mobile on Facebook to find out where they'll be or to book them for your next event. Smokin' Mama Laura's Barbecue, made with love.
Hey guys, I got a question for you. It's your beard itch. You get the dandruff on your black shirt. You're trying to grow a beard? Well, then look no further. With Alpha Wolf Beard Balm and Oil, we can guarantee that we will help you in any way possible to achieve that goal. My name is Joe Castronova. I'm the owner and creator. Search us on Instagram and Facebook at Alpha Wolf Beard Balm and Oil, and welcome to the pack.
Dragonheads. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram to find out more. Welcome to Saltwater Hippie, a custom apparel and products company that reflects beach chillin', boat lovin', board shredding hippies everywhere. The lifestyle our brand represents is the one we live, sharing with you our love for the island and beach living through our casual clothing, unique accessories, and beach essentials. We hope our relaxed, peaceful vibe and easygoing style speaks to all who encounter our brand. Saltwater Hippie, located at 15042 Madeira Way, Madeira Beach, Florida 33708. Operating store hours Monday through Friday 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 3, or check us out online at www.saltwaterhippie.com or simply call 727-237-2970. Again, 727-237-2970. We hope to see you somewhere in the sand.
Right now, you're tuned in to Sky Limit Radio. This is the one and only Murphy Lee in this thing, man. M. Lee, Murphy love everybody everywhere, man. Mr. Wintertime, why? Because I'm cold.
Sky's the limit radio, baby.
What's going on, everybody? It is your fearless emperor and 941's only supervillain, Johnny Christ here, and I'm telling you that Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. is the only time you need to be concerned. Why? Because it's the Mad Titans of radio. That's right. No more of this political nonsense, no more of this opinionated stuff, only cold, hard truth. What more could anybody ask for? So don't forget, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on STLR Media, where the skies, they don't have limits. Hey, what's going on, people? It's your man, Johnny Christ from the Mad Titans of Radio. And did you know that Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m., you can hear the best damn morning show this side of the bay? What am I talking about? The Morning Wood. You got my boy High C and whatever type of inbred idiots he has swinging by. You know, there's really no way to really explain this. You're just gonna have to tune in, because you never know who's gonna stop by. You will be thanking me later, and it's the only way to start your day. So remember, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. I have to speak slow because you idiots just don't get it. But tune into the Morning Wood with my man High C right here on STLR Media.
If you need custom shirts for your business or events, go with the company that fits. Print My Tees for all your screen printing and embroidery needs. Go to printmytees.com or call Shock at 941-225-9809 for a quote today. Print My Tees, located at 2040 Martin Luther King Way, Sarasota, Florida. For the best service around, call 941-225-9809 or go to the website printmytees.com. Tell them your friends from Sky's the Limit Radio sent you. Where's all my fishing fools at? If you want to hear about what's biting, the baits the captains are using, and the weekly tide charts, tune in to High Tides Fishing Show with the poor man's angler, Carter, each and every Sunday from 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join Carter as he talks about his personal fishing expeditions and talks about all things fresh and salt water each and every week. So tune in on Sundays from 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for High Tides Fishing Show. Unlike your hooks, there's never a dull moment on this show. Right here on STLR Sports Talk, entertainment with no sidelines.
kid wants us to call on Messenger, and we can't do that. We don't have that capability.
Man, you really, really almost made her cry. She was like, "Fuck you, Johnny!
I know!
Eat a dick, Johnny!" But yes.
We cancan't call via Messenger.
Oh, my mom is watching now, too. Good job, Mom. Good thing she has a good sense of humor.
Wow.
I'm not really worried about my mom being watching. Now, my daughter's grandmother, though.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy High C, and I'd like to welcome you back to the Mad Tyrants radio show. Only reason why I even let these crazy mofos on air is because I get a tax credit. Shout out Donald Trump.
Do you know what the really sad part about all of this is?
What?
I forgot to mute the mics.
Oh, bird.
Bird.
The bird. The bird's a bird. The burp, burp. Sorry.
All right, we're gonna get this kid on the show. All right, we got his number. We're gonna call him.
Is he at work or
negative? Like he wanted to call us through Facebook Messenger, but it's just not something that us here at STLR have the capability of doing.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We working on it. We paying our bills to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get.
We got her saying yeah.
Yeah. I will ask him what he wants to be identified as.
You mean like
you did drop his name though?
You mean like male or female?
Oh, I need y'all to stop talking shit.
You're talking about his gender?
All right, hold on. We got this.
Hello?
Hello, sir. How are you? This is Johnny Christ from the Mad Titans of Radio. You are live on the air.
What's going on, bud? How you doing?
Good. How's it going, man? What would you like us to call you?
Well, you can call me Chicken Man.
All right, the Chicken Man. All right, fair enough. We have the Chicken Man. He is the owner and sole proprietor of a very entertaining YouTube page called Hate the State. It's actually, I didn't really quite know what to think when I first watched it, but why don't you tell us what made you actually want to start doing something like this? Like, what popped off in your head and you're like, I need to do this? I'm
tired of all the interference in my life from the state. I'm tired of their control. They're tyrants. They go above and beyond what's necessary to maintain control in society. It's, to me, it's like I live in almost like a 1984. Everyone's in jail for marijuana and driving on a suspended license here in Charlotte County.
Sure.
The young people are terrorized. There's some form of government coming, in and out of your life almost on a weekly basis.
Right.
Whether it's code violations, I guess being trespassed, like something with your taxes. I mean, even going out to a gun range like the one in, Cecil Webb out there, there's some sort of state that's mandating things and rules to you on public property. And, I just got tired of it, man. That's not freedom to me.
You know what? I think for a second I may have judged you rather hastily. I can kind of co-sign that. I really, truly can.
I can co-sign that.
I can as someone who's born and raised down there.
Now, do you feel like all cops are bad? Now, certainly that you can't feel like that.
That's a very conjectured question, man.
Sure.
Of course, not all cops are bad, but at the same time, not all criminals are rapists. You know what I mean? So
that's a pretty fair point.
How to put this? Well, sure, there's good cops, but I've also seen these same good cops that, in the sense that they won't tell a lie on someone or do something corrupt or assault a suspect at the jail. For example, a couple years ago, I don't know if you're familiar, but there was an incident down in the Charlotte County Jail where there was a correctional officer, he's a sheriff's deputy employee, had taunted a mentally ill man into eating his own feces, and several of the other officers and staff had sat there and watched him do it.
Holy
and instead
crap!
of reporting it, they waited for the other inmates and things like that to come forward to speak about what happened, and that's what started the investigation. So, I guess the right word would be they may not be bad, but they're corrupt by default, just in the profession that they do, and how they won't take measures to police their own people.
You know what? Yeah, I can agree with.
I mean, that is a pretty fair point. I guess a huge question is because of the fact that I see your videos that have gotten a wild number of views. I mean, one is up to 143,000 freaking likes, which is absolutely amazing. Do you think how you go about certain things is privy to have people look at you as somebody just trolling or being antagonistic?
Well, I guess that's based on your point of view.
Sure.
But keep in mind, man, whenever I do what I call my audit, it's my First Amendment audit.
Yep.
I go out to places and I express First Amendment protected activity.
Yep.
In a lawful manner, which is something every American is supposed to be entitled to do.
I agree.
And I see the kind of reaction that's given to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, here we have instances where people brandish weapons, assault me, various other things,
right.
And law enforcement comes and basically just laughs about it. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, and I was to assault someone or pull a weapon on someone or impersonate a police officer, they'd be trying to put me in prison.
Okay, yeah, which you're making a reference to the video you did on Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, where a man impersonated a police officer and then brandished a weapon at me in a threatening manner and then called the police on himself. And then they came out there and basically hung out like it was something funny.
Well, and I have watched that video, and not to play devil's advocate, but I will. When the man flashed his badge, now maybe I have to go and rewatch that, but he didn't identify himself as a police officer. He just flashed the badge. Now, what he said that couldn't have been picked up, that could be a completely different story.
What you have to use is the reasonable person standard, which is what police and courts use.
Okay.
Someone produces a badge and flashes it at somebody.
Right.
It's with the intent to, I guess, bring about an air of authority about them,
Now that is a pretty fair point.
Casually do.
Now, explain to us what happened on the video that you did where the police officer had crashed. Now, after doing my own investigation, according to Fox News, that there was a gentleman traveling westbound in Port Charlotte, cut across 3 lanes of traffic, and was going to hit this police officer. So in trying to avoid that collision, the officer veered off, inadvertently crashing his car, which the guy caused and then stopped and then drove off. So he fled the scene of an accident.
And I believe, according to them, they still haven't caught the suspect.
Oh, see, now that doesn't surprise me. I mean, that the guy hauled ass.
I gotta tell you, man, I came there after the fact.
Sure.
But I think in my heart of hearts, man, that's probably one of the most bullshit-ridden stories ever made by the sheriff's office, because for that man to run a police officer off the road and make him crash his car, and they didn't catch him, and he just got away like that, and it's been several days, and so there's some guy driving around with a vehicle, I'm assuming, with damage on it, or possibly not if he swerved to avoid it.
Sure.
But I'm sure he at least had some kind of description of the vehicle, and Charlotte County would have been on top of for example, if he said he drove a white car, everybody that has a white car, 4-door, would be having their doors knocked on by the sheriff's office and all kind of stuff going on.
Right.
I mean, I'm thinking probably more than likely what happened was there was some kind of petty violation like they usually chase down. Someone on a bicycle, maybe he was smoking marijuana openly or whatever, and the guy tried to turn around and lost control of his car, and now instead of taking responsibility, he's going to try and blame it on some kind of crime.
Or it's possible that he was looking at his computer, because I know I see police officers doing that all the time while driving.
Exactly. Something like that. Distracted driving. He was doing something not supposed to do. I mean, this is the same department. You've had officers caught masturbating in their patrol vehicles to pornography and getting blowjobs, out in front of the Cracker Barrel, as in the most recent case in their cars. I mean,
holy shit!
The list goes on with these people.
It's really getting bad. I guess my big question is the fact that when you do these videos, and are you doing your best to be factually correct? Meaning like if you were able to be factually correct, well then nobody could ever question you. Why? Because facts are the facts. There is no your truth. There is no my truth. There's only the truth.
Well, I don't ever add anything to these stories. I mean, I may add what I think happened, but I make that clear that it's just an assumption. And then I, document what I'm seeing. I can certainly tell you by the way those troopers approached me that day, demanding my ID and the footage of the accident and things like that.
Well,
it appeared to me like they may be trying to cover this up. They want to identify me as a person that's, may disseminate things about them. The way I don't know if you watched that whole video, but the way they encountered me was not very friendly or professional.
Well, absolutely. But here is also a thing like that, whether it be a wreck or whether it be anything that involves something criminal and somebody is taking photos or obtaining video, they can subpoena that. Because for all they know, you might have an angle or you may have a different shot that they don't have. And you could be the one to help bring somebody in.
Well, I'm pretty sure those guys are aware I showed up after the fact. I mean, that's perfectly true. But you know what? If you want someone to help you in an investigation, and, it's like anything else in life, you probably shouldn't approach that person in the manner of a jackass, because...
Well, jackass is also a matter of perspective, and it's a matter of opinion.
Well, what was your perspective in the way those officers encountered me?
They asked for your ID, and then they led you to believe that they needed that particular set of video, and they did let you know that they could subpoena it. You had every right to say no, and they didn't hold you up.
I made clear to the officer, and then he told me that he would go see his superior, and they'd see what they were going to do about it, kind of in a threatening, menacing tone to me. But see, I know that if I'm not being detained for a crime, I don't have to identify myself.
Fair enough.
That seemed to upset him because I asserted my rights to him.
Well, and there is a huge part of me that knows that some cops are absolutely corrupt, and there's a bigger part of me that says let wrong be done and then hold them accountable, as opposed to assuming, or like what you said, with the cops, allegedly getting blowjobs in the Waffle House parking lot. Where is the video of that? Because you can't hide that.
That was a story, and I believe Charlotte's son, that was that Deputy Tug. He'd had issues before with, perhaps it's his brother. There's a big family of the Tugs that work at the sheriff's office, but there's been some issues with steroid use, and he was meeting this guy's wife in between. And he'd actually tampered with the GPS on his vehicle to show he was at other places, but he was actually meeting this woman in front of Cracker Barrel at 6 a.m. and getting suck jobs. And this was only about, not even 6-7 months ago. It was a big thing in the paper. I don't know how you missed it.
Well, and that'll definitely have to be.
But
I
was
think
just
I heard
using that,
something, but all the ins and outs. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was just using that, as an example of, like what the other lady said, where they're playing on the computer, stuff like that, about what they do in their patrol vehicles. So it's important to take everything these people say with a grain of salt,
right?
Because there's been some severe conduct issues with them, and they will try and lie and conceal what they do, obviously, because they stand to lose everything. They lose their entire career basically.
A lot of people don't realize, though, that Charlotte County and Polk County, them two work together, and they're like the two counties in Florida where they actually train all the officers before they put them out on the road either. And it's like they got so many officers there, and it's so corrupt because of that, because they train in those two areas, and they also use them just for drugs, just to go get drugs. And a lot of people...
Oh, yeah, they live off of drug arrests, man. That's what fills the system.
You see, now, I thought a law was passed that people aren't getting prison time now over weed.
That's weed, though, dude. They but these officers, bro, like...
Dude,
they set everybody up. These like those two counties, they work together. Right. They go out, they do all the kick in the doors, the jump mans, and all that. And they're the ones that they train them in Charlotte County and Polk County.
So wouldn't one venture to say the best way to really stick it to the cops is not put yourself in positions that get yourself in trouble?
Well, yeah, I quit doing that a long time ago.
Yeah, but they've made things that people don't necessarily regard as crimes. That's the biggest problem. You don't actually have to wake up in the morning with the thought process that I'm going to go out here and do something illegal to wind up in jail, man.
Well, and we'll make reference to the Cinco de Mayo video. Like in any other place in the world that, which the video depicts that the man who threatened you with a gun didn't get taken to jail. Now, was this person legally allowed to have this firearm?
That's not entirely fair in the sense of, I know it was specifically because it was me. If that had happened to you or somebody else, I can say with certainty they would have arrested that man. But because it happened to me, you have to see this report that they wrote with the woman that threw the glass of water on me at the... I don't know if you saw that video or not.
Oh, the one that caused you to make the sign that says this place sucks.
Yeah. Well, there was a woman that came out and picked up a glass of water and threw it on me. Well, I went and I got the police report that was filed by that deputy that investigated it.
Right.
He said his conclusions were, and I have the document, I can take pictures and send it to you, that the woman had tripped on the floor while holding a glass of water, and it had spilled on me, and she has not recorded any videos, which is also a lie, because she's sitting there with her camera recording it, and this was an accident, but he'll still send it up to the state attorney and see if they'll prosecute it.
So, with all of this going on, which another video of yours was the one at the farmer's market, which absolutely, that is the positive and the negative of the First Amendment rights. It does protect your speech. It also protects...
The whole idea of the First Amendment, man, is the First Amendment is a constitutional right that's inherently negative. When I say inherently negative it has positive effects on society, and that every voice can be heard, and the general public can pick out things that they like and things that they reject. But it's inherently negative because when you go out there, see, the First Amendment is not about protecting popular views.
Oh, absolutely.
Popular views don't need protection. It's about protecting negative views like racism, Nazism, support for pedophilia.
I think we can all pretty much agree that racist comments are bad. All forms of racism is definitely bad.
Like I said, man, the First Amendment, like I support cop killers, shit like that. That's all things that supported by First Amendment because it's a negative thing that a lot of people would react to and try to prohibit. But in this marketplace of ideas, which is another legal term,
sure,
you're allowed to legally express that view. So what I do is I go and I pick something that I know is very negative. Most people aren't going to like it, and I'm going to make a test to see if my right to express that view will be protected. So what I do is I went down to the market and I had that sign, "Fuck the police," because I know it's going to incur a negative response. It's going to have people calling the police on me, all this. Went down there, held the sign. This old lady got offended.
Right.
Calls the police. This Lieutenant Lipker goes down there and tells her to go file a restraining order on me.
You see, now, my personal view would be have all the signs you want, but when my 12-year-old is right there looking at it, like, you can make a point without having to, to resort to things like that, because unfortunately, hateful children aren't made, aren't born, they're made. Mm-hmm. So if little Johnny, looks at Mr. Chicken and every week, fuck the police, they're robbing you, they're doing this stuff, you know what that's doing? That's creating a milieu. And that's instantly instilling the hatred inside of that child. And it's just like racist children. Racist children will never be born. Their parents are racist. And
I mean, it's more so, like I said, man, Cohen versus California with fuck the draft and all that, and that a 4-letter word, one man's vulgarities, other man's lyric, that's established case law.
Sure.
So, and what that the holding was, with the Supreme Court level was the state's right to censor, and at the time, women and children from someone's vulgarity doesn't outweigh your right to express yourself, even in a vulgar and offensive manner.
Oh, well, now, I completely agree about that.
Well, I mean, if you're offended that your 12-year-old would see the word fuck on a sign and I'll fuck the police and all that.
Well, I'm just saying...
The First Amendment? What?
Well, that the First Amendment, you're absolutely protected by it. I guess that that now personally that my 12-year-old, has seen all sorts of protests and things like that, because that's just the society that we live in. But when people say things like the First Amendment protects negative speech, well...
It does, man. That's the whole idea behind it. It protects hate speech.
Well, hate speech is not a real thing, though.
Protected by the First Amendment are fighting words and obscenity.
Hate speech is something that nationally ensues violence. Because that the First Amendment, if you say, I hate all whatever the race is, guess what? Your First Amendment protects you, in saying that. Now, if you go, well, I hate this style of people, and everybody needs to go and kill them, well, that's ensuing violence. That is hate speech.
Well, that's where you have Brandenburg versus Ohio, is when you have something that's to incite, like imminent lawless action or violence, it's not First Amendment protected. To use a profane word I don't normally use, but if I was to have a sign and go out by the road on the sidewalk that says, I hate niggers, okay, that would be First Amendment protected. On the other end of the spectrum,
distasteful, but yes.
A sign that said, please go shoot every nigger you see today, that would probably not be First Amendment protected. That would violate Brandenburg versus Ohio because you're telling people to commit acts of violence.
Can I ask you one question, or can I say one thing?
Sure. Go ahead, Elf.
Could you just do me a favor and not actually full-blown say the N-word? It just makes me uncomfortable, and I just don't appreciate that word.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You're talking to me about First Amendment stuff. I was going to give my...
No, I know. I was just personally, I just don't personally like that word. I mean, I don't care.
Well, nobody likes that word, man, but if you're going to have an intelligent First Amendment conversation, opinions like yours are the whole reason behind the First Amendment. Someone doesn't like what you say, so now you're in jail. Mm-hmm. That's the whole
I mean, I'm aware. I've had my own issues, but I'm also... African American descent. So I'm just asking, just because it kind of hits my ears a little funny.
I'm not trying to offend you, ma'am. I'm just trying to explain First Amendment principles. That's all.
Yeah, no, I understand.
He's not calling you that.
I know. I
or
just
anything
really,
like that. Yeah.
I just hate that word.
Trust me, believe you me, that is a completely different discussion. But absolutely, as far as like expressing like First Amendment issues and things like that, like where do you think like people should start drawing the line? Because that for every positive there has to be a negative.
It's not really up. This current system we live in, it's not really up to people per se to draw the line. That's something that's reserved for the court system. For example, Supreme Court, they sit there and they define what's First Amendment and what's not. And the line that they've drawn in the sand is obscenity and, like imminent lawless action, like go kill people, stuff like that. Other than that, I mean, you live under what's one of the most broadest systems of free speech in the world, basically.
Well, absolutely. And when you look at people like, say, Alex Jones, who recently got banned off of social media, for his...
But you have to remember, those aren't public forums. When you go on those things, you're subject to those terms and conditions. So, it's like the lady just a few minutes ago that was upset with my use of the N-word.
Right.
If she chooses to open her own site like that, for example, she's the owner of Facebook, and ordains and in her policy when you sign up that if you use that word, we're going to ban you, because that's hate speech.
You see, now I would fight that kicking and screaming all day because of the fact the First Amendment, it protects things regardless if you like it or not. It's not telling people to go bomb anybody or anything like that.
Intrusion from government, man. It doesn't protect intrusion from private parties.
Like okay, example, like that. If you were a black guy and you said "fuck you, cracker," die slowly.
Okay, and then a cop came and he arrested you for that. Well, you can make a First Amendment claim, right?
Sure.
But if you were that same black guy and you worked at Burger King and your manager found out that you used racist tones to somebody and he decided to fire you for that,
well, that's capitalism.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, because one, Florida is a right-to-work state, and two...
Well, that's just an example, man.
Well, sure, absolutely.
Various things that could happen. His cell phone provider, AT&T, could find out that he called someone a cracker, and now we're no longer going to offer you service on our network. Got to find somebody else. That's within their right as a private party. You can refuse service to anyone.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you label yourself? Do you label yourself as a moderate, a conservative, an anarchist, a liberal, like what?
Well, I mean, I can't be anarchist, man, because every society does need police. Every society does need some form of government. What you don't need is this intrusive state that we have set up now, this brainwashed mentality we have of call the police on everyone. They could be a terrorist. That's another thing I go through a lot is, though, this guy's walking down the street with a sign. I think he's dangerous. The government's done such a good job of brainwashing people into that.
Right.
I mean, we say we're the freest country in the world, but we're by far the highest rate of incarceration. The one of my favorite arguments with people is, man, if I told you the freest country in the world held a quarter of the world's prisoners, how free would you think it was? And most people would say, well, not very free. And then I'm like, well, you're actually sitting here standing in it. So a lot of issues going on with that, man. So I don't really identify as anything, man. I guess I'm an independent.
No, I mean, I respect
the Democrats both lie.
I mean, that is a pretty down the middle thing. Well, Mr. Chicken, thank you so much, man, for taking the time out, to talk to us. Everybody can watch this man's videos in its entirety at Hate the States on YouTube. Do you have
one
any
more
other?
thing, if I could say it, that I
Sure.
meant to say, earlier, but someone started talking. Back to the police being criminals thing is, something else, that I ask people is, if I poured a handful of Skittles in your hand, and I said, "Hey, man, only the red ones will poison you. If you eat them." Would you eat, any of those Skittles?
No,
you wouldn't eat it.
Absolutely not. None of them would.
It's a crazy thing with them, man, because they're in a profession where they can go around, make statements on people, stuff like that. Like arrest you, pull a gun on you, shoot you, and they're de facto believed by anything they write or say. So I think that, in itself, is a very, very dangerous predicament that we live in.
I mean, that's a pretty fair point. But we will definitely have to have you back on the show and actually try to get you to come in.
Call me anytime. I'm always down. Tell the one lady don't be offended because I used the N-word. I didn't use it in.
Oh, honestly, I was actually about to thank you because honestly, you didn't have to respect my personal opinion, but I really do actually appreciate you respecting the fact that I was like, hey, if you could
I'm
not use
really
it.
out to offend people, man. What I do is mainly to inform people. That's mostly my mission. Is that I can't believe that we live in a society where people feel justified in committing crimes against other people. Like, for example, the Hispanic man that pulled the firearm on me at the bar, and then call the police and think they did something good. These things just blow my mind. I mean, what I'm about is mainly, education.
Yeah, no.
I want people to realize what the set of laws is that we actually live under, and it will blow your mind.
Oh, trust me, actually, I do understand. Wait, thank you. I just want to say thank you for that.
Well, Mr. Chicken, thank you very much, my friend. We will let you go, and you have a pleasant evening. Thank you, sir.
All right, man. Enjoy.
All right. Thanks. I will be the first one to say that if his videos came across that eloquently, he'd have a much different reaction.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
True. Very true.
Most definitely not what I was expecting.
You felt he was going to come on
and try to troll the show.
Yeah,
which that wouldn't be smart by any person.
I see his point of view on how he's approaching things.
I would definitely go about it with a little bit more tact because he's obviously demonstrated that he knows case law.
Yeah.
At least he knows enough about whatever his particular brand is. I mean, obviously, citing Ohio case law, California case law.
Yeah.
I mean that kid may be onto something.
You should probably link up with my uncle. I think those two, as long as it wasn't as intense of what I was hearing. I'm like, you don't need to be that rowdy about it, but. Also, I mean, they are bringing up points and issues that are going on, especially whenever it comes to police reports. They really can write whatever they want to on it, and the crazy part is the judge doesn't even actually look at the police reports or the documentations of what they're saying and correlate it to what the other people matching it up to everybody's story. They kind of just all right, this is what I see. It says, all right, okay, I'm going to sentence you to this and da 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 da. And you're wait a minute, no.
But put yourself in not only the judge's position, but now, when you have people like police officers and everybody is flipping out and they're doing whatever, whatnot, or what have you, and nobody's signing up, nobody's applying. And so my question is if there is this big epidemic of, for example, systemic racism, which don't even get me started. Why not have people in the African American community apply?
What, to be a police officer?
Yeah.
Well, I got how many of y'all in here have a felony?
I don't.
I think you're the only one in the room.
Okay.
It's just like that. You got to figure how many people become a convicted felon before they even turn 18 because of the way that the police officers are going about things.
And how easy it is to become a felon.
But I think it's also the society on how they bring them up. It's also in the family life.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that
you know,
is
I mean,
too.
if that family life wasn't, we'll just say, for an example, I don't know why I'm saying it, Compton, if they weren't in Compton, they wouldn't be growing in that scenario where they have to go ahead and do all that kind of stuff. But they're in a different area.
Adults have to learn how to act better
at that
towards
same
their
point in
kids.
time. If that's all you can afford, you're unfortunately in that situation.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
bringing
Great
up your
point.
kid the right way,
I agree.
will change everything.
But my point is I just don't feel like point blank period. If you have a badge, there should be no reason why you're lying on a police report. You guys should be held at the same standards. If I'm supposed to tell the truth in the courtroom, then why aren't police officers doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I do have a felony and I do have a police record that was completely false.
It is going to end up to where people like you and people like the rest of the world, they're going to start wearing body cams, or they're going to start doing something to ensure that themselves, because let me tell you something.
That's what that guy's doing.
Nothing matters except for one thing. You have to be able to prove your shit beyond a reasonable doubt.
I mean,
And
it's
you
pretty
don't
easy.
get much headway when it's your word versus his word.
I got arrested for
Or her
shooting
word.
into an occupied dwelling when I wasn't even part of it.
All right, so okay, well, seeing how that you want to bring that up. All right, so you're telling me you were completely incarcerated for no reason.
Yes, because someone else shot a house. And I got arrested for it because she said I did it. Because I have a criminal record. Guess what? They believed her and arrested me.
But
you're the first
why
one that's
would
being
you
looked at
have a
because you have
criminal
a record.
record unless you did something?
Well, listen, and she was already on probation, but they believed her word over mine because I had a worse criminal record than she did at the time. Granted, thank God she admitted to it and told the police that it was her, but I had already been arrested for it and had to spend thousands of dollars to bond out for something I didn't even do.
I think that a lot of people that are in that scenario, that situation, and because we always grew up thinking, not only are the police here to protect and serve, but they're the big, they're the big guy, they're the bully.
Yeah.
But the thing is too is that, in my opinion, if you did something wrong and you admit to it, the consequences aren't going to be as bad.
It depends on,
But then
depends
again,
on the crime.
But it is a gamble. I mean, if I went ahead and I went to an establishment and shot up the place and left, and I said I did it, I might get a life sentence, and I might be able to live out, or not live out, but I mean, pretty much deal with that whole life sentence instead of getting the death penalty.
I don't know anybody who's been to jail for following the law 100%.
But true. That's true.
Because of the fact that, regardless, everybody has got dirt on their hands. The only difference between you and me is what? I got caught.
Yep.
True.
Period.
I know officers that...
You can't sit here and be like, because that if you're willing to sit there and say that you were wrongfully incarcerated or you had charges brought up against you that were not accurate, and this goes for anybody, if you're not able to prove that, shut up.
Yeah.
Because you already know what's going to happen. If it's your word against the sworn officers, you're fucked.
100%.
So if you don't have evidence, why are you even bringing it up?
And I think that's
Why
why
are you wasting your time?
why a lot of people now, they record everything that's going on when they get pulled over. But then it turns into a bidding war on who's right and who's wrong.
Which High C is completely correct on Facebook Live for those of you watching.
Yeah, what he just said.
What did he say? Because I can't say it.
He said black people won't be officers because they're taught in the community not to snitch. Let me tell you all a fact too. You do any time for anybody, you're a fucking moron. You're
100%.
an idiot. You are beyond idiotic. And you know what? Rot where you fucking are. And don't do nothing around me because I'm going to tell on your ass. I'm not doing time for none of you.
100%.
I'm not taking time away from my daughter to sit there because I don't believe, because snitches get stitches. Well, then.
Give me some stitches.
Yeah. Come on out.
Just remember,
let me see what
karma's
you got.
a bitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep, my two co-defendants snitched on me. I went up the road. They both got probation.
And that's what it is, you know.
Because
I mean,
I
Elf's situation's different, obviously.
I won't even speak on mine. Mine's completely
kept my mouth shut
insane.
and didn't say nothing, and I'm the one that got sent off. Because I didn't snitch. While they're walking around free, and I'm the only one that had a kid. I tried to beg them for probation to send me off to drug rehab, because at the time I was addicted to pills. I was robbing houses and selling pills. So I even told him this was my first felony as an adult that didn't get dropped.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm like, look, I have a drug problem. I need help.
Yeah.
Like I have a kid that I have full custody of, and I have a job, and I need help with my problem. Okay, we'll think about it. And then bam, here you go, 5 years.
Yeah.
Go to prison for 5 years.
But yeah, I mean, like, what were your charge? What did you have pending against you prior to that?
Like my past charges before the new one.
Yeah.
It was petty thefts and a marijuana sales charge,
which I think is bullshit.
Yeah, and then the shooting into an occupied dwelling, but that got dropped. And they still brought it up in court. They brought my marijuana charges from back when I was a juvenile up while I'm in court, which they're not supposed to do. And how did they do that?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one thing that the system has completely ass backwards is how they go about certain things. Like
anytime I get pulled over, oh, Mr. Carroll, do you care if we search your car?
Well, of course, because you have that
I have
against
that record.
You. Yeah, because you have a record
every single time.
And you know, like I knock on fucking wood, but like the only thing I really have against me is a speeding ticket that I had. Well,
I don't
have a speeding
ticket.
I didn't have a speed. It should be. It's been dropped probably. You know, I was 17.
Yeah, smoke weed every day.
And then during Hurricane Charlie, I had a curfew violation because I was going home from work. And I'm like, you know, they're like, oh, you have to appear in court, da 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 da. So I had to do that, but you know, after so many years, like I guess it doesn't show up on your record, or 7 years or something like that. I guess I don't know, but like those are only two major things I've gotten against me. Knock on fucking wood.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that's probably more real wood.
Damn.
The whole thing's gonna fall.
So
sorry,
that is actually a really good question that I will oppose to Elf. Like, how do you feel when people call you, for instance, like an Uncle Tom?
What do you mean?
Another great point that Heisey made on Facebook Live was that, and also black officers would get called things like an Uncle Tom and get degraded as well, because we all know that that's what happens. If I hold him accountable for racist behavior, I'm contributing to the cause. If you hold another African American accountable, now you're an Uncle Tom.
You got a phone call.
And you're a sellout.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've actually been on that end of the spectrum as well.
Hold on, let's see who we got. Caller, you're live.
I had this painful twitch in my dick, and that's
oh my gosh.
We're having an intelligent conversation.
Know what bullshit you're spewing tonight.
Well, you should have showed up.
I couldn't get this damn ankle bracelet off. I put soap on it.
You didn't use butter?
I used Parquet. That must be my problem. I should have used butter.
Yeah, you gotta lube it up with butter. You gotta act like
Uncle T, man, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, I wish I was there. Unfortunately, I had something I had to do at a place that actually pays me to be here. So
shots fired.
Damn. But I definitely just want to let everybody know I will be there next week. I got a lot of great content I was going to bring. I got this new pimple on my dick, and I was going to show that.
Man.
But I got a close up. I got one of those night vision.
No,
like
God, I hope you don't have one of them.
That's so awful.
Oh, whatever.
That's
you
wretched.
pop it and green stuff go out. Go to the health clinic.
What was that? I didn't hear it.
Yeah. I sent it to Elf earlier, and she said, "Yeah, that definitely looks infected."
Oh, that's rough.
I don't recall seeing a penis, but I mean, all right.
It wasn't. No, it was the shaft. It was tubage. It wasn't.
Oh,
well, that's what that was.
That's what. I thought it was just like a weird-looking caterpillar. I don't know.
The extreme of touchy.
Well, it could be part of that Animal Planet thing. But we're starting a new sitcom on the Mad Titans. It's going to be Dr. Elf MD. So,
all right.
Send all your cold sore pictures, all your
God,
pictures that are all infected. She's going to tell you what she has and what she recommends. I'll give everybody a hint. It's butter. She recommends butter. For
No.
no.
I actually recommend swamp mud. Just go in the swamp and dip your
It was
junk.
going to be coconut oil.
Well, I'm not dipping my junk anywhere again. I've learned my lesson.
I'm telling you, the swamp mud would help. You might get it bit off by an alligator, but use swamp mud.
Swamp donkeys.
Words from
I
Calypso.
can't squat that far. So I hear we're all talking about the popo. Is that what? Are y'all talking about the popo?
Yeah, we're talking about popo.
Squally. All right, well, I just want to let everybody know that there's no difference between me and Johnny just because he got caught and I didn't. I don't do dumb shit. So there we go.
We know.
That's how I didn't get caught, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No, sir. Suck your dick, sir. Yes, sir. Not a problem. All the way
White
to the wall.
privilege.
You got it, sir. All that good stuff.
True.
We get it.
All right, folks, I'm going to let you get back to your show. Sounds like you're having a lot of fun. I'm going to go finish spanking the ham, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, my man.
Say
Later.
my name.
Bye.
How come I feel like my mic's not on? Is it my on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah. Everybody can hear you, Dad.
I think
I just
my
wanna make
mic
sure
is the
everyone
only
can
thing
hear
that's fucking
Yeah,
up right now.
yeah, yours turns into like a robot when people call in.
Okay, so back to the Uncle Tom bullshit kind of thing. I mean, it's actually really unfortunate, but that does happen in the African community. Like, and they can't say it doesn't. I mean, there was plenty of times just how I pronunciate my words. They didn't appreciate it because they're like, well, why are you talking like that? You're talking like some white girl. Like, oh, are you part of them? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just being
What the hell
me.
does that even mean to talk like a white girl anyway?
Or white person, basically that I talk
Basic
like I'm
plus.
educated. And I mean, and I had said that to them and they got mad at me because they're like, well, what the fuck you mean you talk like you educated? I go to school too, the fuck you mean? This is how I talk. And I'm like, and that's fine.
Turn the ghetto off. That's what they need to do.
I mean, that's fine. You can talk like that. I don't give a shit. But this is how I choose to talk because this is how my family talks to me. So I don't.
Yeah. It's an upbringing, is what it is.
No, I can get ghetto if I need to.
yeah, you can.
Yeah, I know I
think
can.
anyone can get
Especially when I
ghetto.
get excited and
I
it's
can
like
get ghetto.
Exactly.
I felt it just depends what moment.
me, I don't get
and
ghetto.
ambiance. Get the fuck out of here.
I just get dark white.
Yeah.
White chocolate.
Caramel, motherfucker.
Yeah, he was sitting there like, I'm almost the same color as you. I'm almost the same
I'm
color as
darker
you.
than you. We already went over this.
I'm pretty close to the color of Elf.
All right, well, I don't go
working
in
out
the sun. Okay, I have tattoos that I would like to preserve.
Exactly.
I do
So-
too, but I gotta go work. I can't.
But that is
That's
an
why
issue.
you. That's why you wear a Columbia shirt with 50 proof sunblock on
fuck
it, man.
that shit.
So what I would like to say, because I know you
Sprint
said you've
cancer
never
on
been
me.
in trouble, and you guys keep saying, well, don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. I used to be those people. I used to say that all the time because honestly, I totally agreed with that. Don't do dumb shit, and you won't get fucked up in some dumb shit.
Yeah.
But you can just solely by who you're hanging out with,
Oh,
and you don't
100%.
even realize what they're fucking doing. Can get you caught up and to the point where it gets flipped on you. Then you get railroaded and just getting butt fucked by the people, and you're like,
fucked?
yeah, and you're
Yeah,
just
no-
sitting here like,
no
what the fuck
lubrication
did I
or
fucking
nothing.
do?
Exactly. What
And
is-
that's not cool.
What is one thing that your parents said to you while you were growing up?
There's a consequence to every action.
That's part of it.
They always told me, don't hang out with that guy.
Johnny, what about you?
Can't believe we had you. God,
man.
you're an embarrassment. I think my dad said, one of these days you're going to drive me to suicide. Who knew?
What the fuck, bro?
You know what my dad?
I mean, it happens.
My dad told me, David, make sure you fuck the fattest and ugliest girl in the group, and then they'll all want you if you lay it down right.
Anyways, I wasn't trying to get at that point, but okay. What I was trying to say was choose your friends wisely. Be careful who you hang out with
what my mom
because
said.
Just like I posted today. Some
that's
people
who
ran.
you're going to be grouped as. If you're hanging out with a bunch of hoodlums, you're going to be considered a hoodlum.
I just posted on Facebook today. I still get messages today from what I did in the past. I still get people messaging me.
Exactly.
Asking if I know where to find drugs. I've been clean for 8 fucking years. I don't fuck with nothing.
Exactly.
And
it's
there's
be
still
careful who you run with.
And there's still people that think I do drugs. And
I've never seen scumbags hang out with Fortune 500 people who got their shit together.
Yeah. They will if they trying to get that money off of, especially if it's a woman. What?
Birds
There's
of a feather.
no
Flock to
bullshit.
vagina.
You know,
No,
I
that's
used
bullshit.
to sell crack to a millionaire, bro, and he only hung out with millionaires except when he was smoking the dope. And he only did it every other weekend.
I really think you guys are trying to nickel and dime this shit.
I'm just being real.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Attraction
like,
attracts attraction, meaning if you know what?
But you're
Shark
right.
mindset. Shark mindset. That's how it is.
You want money, you hang around with people that get
I'm just
money.
saying, there's people who will present themselves as a certain type of person to get into your life and literally try to suck and steal all kinds of shit from you.
Real will recognize real. If you have that type of mindset, because what happens if a shark don't move forward? What happens? They die. It can't go backwards. It'll fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see scumbags hanging out with anything other than just that. Other scumbags.
Or lower.
Yeah. It is up to you if you decide people want to sit there and be around for a season or be around for a reason.
Yeah.
Season
Yeah,
or
true.
a
That's
reason.
they're either branches or roots, or sometimes they're
Trademark that
leaves.
Mr. Wes Montgomery on Facebook tried to drop a little bit of knowledge. Did you know that 90% of the African American ancestry actually has Native American heritage?
Yes,
And
I actually
not
did hear about that.
African.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Mr. Wes Montgomery, did you know that the original Jewish people were African American? There you go, buddy.
Buzzing.
What?
Get
Well,
what?
actually,
all African.
most actually, yeah.
People came from Africa.
Well, just after the continent.
The Native
continent
Americans
separated.
crossed that little frozen piece of land in between Alaska and Russia there and came over, and they were black back then.
Did y'all see the first British guy?
He was black.
Yep, black with blue eyeballs.
What?
Yeah. Everybody had dark skin.
That would be a deadly motherfucker that you wouldn't be able to keep no female around without them hopping on top of that dick.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Back then?
And
It was
any
probably
time of
normal.
days. A light-skinned person with blue eyes, like blue is the motherfucking sky, that's a deadly combination.
Mm-hmm.
Or gray.
Yeah.
Seen someone with some gray
My
eyes?
Aunt Tammy has gray eyes.
We got
That's why I
homeboy
can't
that
keep
got-
these women off me at all. I swear to God.
I got a
Swing
homeboy
from the
that got
bat.
No, for real,
gray
that's
eyes. I told
legit.
him I'd take them bitches out and put them in a jar just so I can look at his eyes.
We got just a few minutes left. Thank you, everybody on Facebook Live. If you're going to watch this tomorrow on Spotify or
Listen to us on Spotify.
Yeah, or listen to us on Spotify or the YouTube channel. This is nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. I miss T to death when he's not here, but it's always good when he's not here because we get into a little bit more of a serious decor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tonight. You know,
You thought I was going to fuck it all up.
I had a good
I
dad talk
did
today, too.
have
I'm
my
sorry.
worries.
Beep, beep.
Yeah.
So next week, Dad'll have a great dad talk.
That was going to do this week. I got to postpone. Who knows? Maybe I'll have a double feature.
Wow.
The 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
So we're gonna let we'll let Day Day have a shout out. Go ahead, Day Day, with your shout out.
I want to tell you a shout out to all my family out there. You know, I know none of them are watching because they don't follow me on Facebook because of my posts. But yeah, I love all you guys, and especially my little son, a little smart little motherfucker, and my girlfriend over there, Elf. Yeah. And to you guys for letting me on the show this week.
My man, look at that.
Yeah.
Ed Courteous. Who knew he had manners? My man. I like it.
Burly, but he's got him.
Burler.
Birds cold.
Elf, shout outs 1, 2, 3, go.
I want to shout out to Joe and to my mom because thank you for tuning in because you guys actually never really watch, but I really appreciate you actually watching this time. I shout out to the STLR media. Like, you guys are fucking awesome. I'm so happy that you guys allowed me to be on this show. Having a great time every week.
High C ain't have nothing to do with it, man. Freaking High C just does High C.
I mean, well, technically, if we really want to be on technical terms, it's really Johnny who was like, "Hey, Elf, do you want to be on the show?" I was like, "Fuck it, why not?"
Why not?
Shout out to everybody on Facebook for watching and listening and giving us more views each week. I really appreciate it. You guys should really, really start boosting our show and start having your friends and everybody get connected and watch us because, you know, you love us and we love you and we really appreciate what you guys do for us.
Most definitely. Most def. Yeah. And all High C does is just own this shit. Okay?
I honestly haven't met High C, so
Really? You haven't?
I don't think so.
Oh, damn.
I know Slick. I know Fat Boy.
Well, Fat Boy is no longer associated with STLR.
That's what I heard.
He wore out his welcome.
And then I know Queso. That's it.
Queso's another one where it's basically like the same thing as not knowing anyone.
Oh, man.
Dad, Mr. Alpha. Shout out to
all you guys out there on Facebook, man. Thank you so much for tuning in and chiming in when the time is needed. Shout out to STLR Media for bringing us on and letting us do our thing. If it wasn't for you guys, the fans, we would not be here. So please like, share, tell your friends, tell your family, because without you guys, we're just 4 people in a room talking bullshit the whole time and recording it for our own purposes, for entertainment.
To beat her dick's later.
Yeah, or double click the mouse or whatever the situation is.
Fucking debate.
Shout out to Truly Evil, Alpha Wolf, Beer Bomb, and Oil. Without those small businesses, this world would not be going where it's at right now.
Facts.
So
support your local business.
Absolutely. I mean, you totally have to.
And you know what? Check out Elf's page and buy one of those paintings.
Fuck yeah!
Oh, thank you guys.
I got to look at it. The last one you did.
The fucking dolly's on fire, ain't
I'm
it?
like, damn, I want to put
I
that
have
in
an
my room.
it in progress right now.
Nice.
It's big as shit. It's as big as me.
I like.
No, it really is.
It's like
I can
it's
imagine.
5 feet.
If when you post them and whatever the price is, like if I see it, I'm gonna be like, I want that fucking shit right there.
Well, prints will be a lot cheaper than the actual original copy. So I'm just trying to kind of bust out a collection right now, just so that you guys would be able to buy prints. I want to do prints on canvas too, so that there's duplicates of it, so you guys can have the same feel of canvas, but I don't have to paint it like 20 fucking times. So.
Well, yeah, because it's only good the first time around. If you try to duplicate duplicate something that's already been done, it doesn't come out the same.
It's like
way.
busting a nut. It's like you never have the same nut twice.
You should have went more with like smoking crack for your first time.
Well, I don't know. I've never smoked crack.
I haven't either. But I always was told the only reason they keep smoking
I've heard
because they keep chasing the high.
Well, exactly. And that's why they overdose, because they're trying to get that.
No, they don't really overdose on crack.
No, I'm talking about like heroin,
yeah.
coke. They're trying to get that. Whatever.
Okay, sorry, Johnny.
What? Shout out to CEQ, whoever that is, whatever that is. It's probably Chris. He's just probably, give a shout out to myself, bro. That's on my feed.
Oh yeah, I mean that's got to be on your feed.
Yeah, it is.
Oh okay.
My phone died.
My phone is dead.
I got your.
Johnny, 1, 2, 3, go.
Thank you, Jesus. Shout out to everybody watching who have continuously watched through a gospel into a tyrant, and now as a mad titan. Thank you so very much. Shout out to Alpha Wolf, Beard Oil and Bomb. They're okay. They're pretty good.
They're okay.
They're pretty good. I have it. I put it on my deal downstairs. I put it on the stuff up top. It's all, everything's always silky smooth. And fucking love Elf's stuff that you're doing. I cannot wait for you to get up and moving. I think that's the best damn thing I've heard all fucking week. Is your page up yet?
It's under construction.
I made the page, but we want more product.
No worries.
Before we put it all out there.
We will most definitely be sure to pop that on out. Shout out to the up and coming Black Hat Oddity that is going to be right here in Gulfgate.
Yeah, buddy.
Hell yes.
We're gonna get some pimp ass shirts.
Fuck yeah.
Hoodies, custom shit,
That's right. For all of your custom digitally printed shirts powered by Offset Press, as well as my sick-minded stuff from
my
Truly
mom's
Evil.
watching.
And you just never know what the hell we'll come up with. Keep doing you. Be the best you that you can be, because chances are you're probably disliked by a handful of people, so you could probably do better. This week I will leave you with this. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday instead of to who someone else is today. You understand that? You're on your way to becoming a better person.
You're woke.
We will be here next Wednesday. Same bat time, same bat channel. I am the Emperor of Ratchet City and the sole proprietor of all you motherfuckers. I own you all. I am simply Johnny Christ.
Day. I'm just filling in for the day.
I am your intergalactic champion of champions. I am the Messiah, the seeker of truth. I am the Alpha Wolf, Mr. Real.
And I'm the creepy critter that lives down south. I am the elf that's not on the shelf.
Sounds like crab.
And we'll be here next week.
You're a
Later.
fucking crab.
Deuces.
The creepy critter.
Yeah.
Very poor choice of words.
Now get out of here! Not like you!